Ever try explaining Bitcoin to, like, your grandparents?
Yeah.
It's almost as bad as explaining, TikTok to anyone over 30.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But hey, after this deep dive, you might just be the most interesting one at the holiday dinner table this year. We're going deep into crypto, AI, and get this, how those things are actually connected to, like, the whole history of money and power. It's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild ride when you start digging into it.
So we've got this really cool article we're looking at today. It's called The Intersection of Crypto, AI, and Traditional Finance. And it starts off talking about why Bitcoin was even invented in the first place.
Well, the idea behind Bitcoin was basically to cut out those middlemen in finance. The banks, the governments, all those fees they love to charge us. It's about giving people control over their own money.
Like a digital revolution for your wallet.
Exactly.
And the article gives this crazy example. Remember when China tried to ban Bitcoin mining a while back?
Yeah, everyone thought it was game over.
Right. You think a government ban, that's it, right. But that's the thing about decentralized systems.
It's really hard to kill an idea when it's spread out across the globe like that. Even with all the pressure, something like 55% of Bitcoin mining still happens in China, according to the article.
That just shows you how hard it is to control something that's designed to be, uncontrollable. But it's not just Bitcoin, right? This whole struggle for control, who gets to call the shots, it's happening with AI now, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And the stakes are potentially even higher with AI.
Yeah, because we're talking about, like, the future of everything.
Imagine a world where just a handful of giant corporations control all the AI, the algorithms that shape how we see the world, the data that makes decisions for us. It's kind of a scary thought.
It's like, remember that old saying, power corrupts? Well, with AI, we're talking about a whole new level of power.
Exactly. And that's why this idea of decentralization is so important to understand. It's not just some techie thing. This is about who gets to shape the future.
Okay, so we've got this power struggle going on. We've got Bitcoin trying to shake things up in the finance world. And now AI is entering the picture with its own set of questions and challenges. But how does this actually affect, everyday people like me, like you? What's the connection to our lives?
That's the million-dollar question. And this article dives into that with this concept they call paper Bitcoin.
Paper Bitcoin. That sounds kind of harmless, like monopoly money or something.
You would think so, right? But the article argues it's anything but harmless. Basically, paper Bitcoin refers to financial products that are supposed to represent Bitcoin, but they're not actually backed by real Bitcoin on the blockchain.
So it's like saying you've got a gold bar in a vault, but when you go to check, there's nothing there.
Exactly. And it totally goes against the whole point of Bitcoin's transparency and security. It's like those concert ticket scams. You think you're buying a real ticket, but it's just a worthless piece of paper.
Okay, now that is shady. But how does this tie back to AI and the future of finance? I'm not seeing the connection yet.
Well, this is where things get really interesting, because this isn't just some theoretical problem. It gets to the heart of who controls the systems we rely on. And when you bring AI into the mix, the potential for both good and bad outcomes, it just explodes.
Okay, you've officially got my attention. Give me the good and the bad. What are we looking at here?
Well, imagine AI-powered financial tools that could help you manage your money better, plan for retirement, make smarter investments, things that used to be only for the wealthy.
That part sounds pretty great, actually. Like having a personal finance guru on call 24/7. Sign me up.
Right. But here's the flip side. What if those AI tools are controlled by the same institutions that benefit from the current system? The ones who profit from things like paper Bitcoin and lack of transparency.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
It's like that old saying, right? He who has the gold makes the rules. But now it's he who controls the algorithm makes the rules.
And that's a whole different ballgame.
Exactly. And that's why this fight for decentralization, for keeping control in the hands of the people, it's more important than ever.
So we're talking about, like, who really controls our financial lives?
Yeah.
Who has that power? Who should have it? And this is where AI comes in, right?
You got it. This isn't just some abstract debate about technology. This is about the systems that shape our everyday lives.
Okay, so, like, paint me a picture. What could this future actually look like? Give me the good and maybe the not so good.
All right, well, let's start with the optimistic view. Imagine AI-powered tools that analyze your spending habits, help you budget better, even automate your investments based on your goals.
So, like, having a personal financial advisor, but, like, way cheaper?
Exactly. These tools could make sophisticated financial advice available to everyone, not just the wealthy. It could really level the playing field.
Okay. I'm listening.
Yeah.
What else is there?
Think about AI-driven credit scoring. No more getting penalized for one late payment because life happens. Your creditworthiness would be based on a more complete picture of your financial situation.
Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So less bias, more fairness.
That's the potential of AI when it's used for good, to
Yeah.
create a fairer and more inclusive financial system for everyone. But here's the catch.
I knew there had to be a catch.
What if those same powerful AI tools end up in the wrong hands? What if they're controlled by the institutions that benefit from keeping the current system in place? The ones who might be tempted to nudge you towards choices that benefit them, not you.
So it's like the same old power dynamics,
Mhm.
just with fancier tech.
Exactly. It's like
Yeah.
instead of he who has the gold makes the rules, now it's he who controls the algorithm makes the rules.
And that's a whole other can of worms.
It sure is. And that's why this idea of decentralization is so crucial. It's about making sure these powerful technologies are used to empower people, not control them.
So it's not enough to just be like tech savvy.
Mhm.
We need to be financially literate in the age of AI.
100%.
Mm.
We need to be asking tough questions, demanding transparency, and supporting projects that align with our values.
It's about taking back control of our financial destinies, right?
Now you're getting it. This isn't about being a passive consumer of technology. It's about actively shaping the future we want to see.
Okay, so we've talked about AI's potential for both good and maybe not so good, the importance of decentralization, and the need for all of us to be a lot more informed and engaged. But what's the bottom line for our listeners? What should they take away from this deep dive? So what's the one big takeaway here? What do we want our listeners to walk away with?
I think the important thing to remember is this whole future of finance thing. It's not set in stone. It's not like we're just along for the ride.
It's not like some scary sci-fi movie where the robots take over.
Exactly. We still have a say in how this all plays out.
So how do we do that? What can we do right now to make sure it goes in the right direction?
This article we've been talking about, it focuses on Bitcoin and AI, but really it's just one example of a much bigger issue. This whole struggle between centralized power and giving power back to people.
Yeah, we see that everywhere, right? Not just in the financial world.
Exactly, from social media to data privacy, even down to how we watch movies.
So it's like every decision we make every day feeds into this bigger picture.
Right, it all adds up.
Okay, so like next time I'm scrolling through my phone or buying something online,
Ask yourself, am I supporting a system that gives me more control or one that's all about keeping the power at the top?
because those little choices, they actually make a difference.
They do. Every click, every dollar you spend, it all sends a message.
It's like we're voting for the future we want with our wallets.
Exactly. And the more informed we are, the better choices we can make.
Okay, so let's do a quick recap. We've talked about how AI has this crazy potential to change everything about finance.
And we dug into the dangers of paper Bitcoin and why having things be decentralized is so important.
But the biggest thing we talked about today is that we all have more power than we think to shape the future.
It's not just about being good with money. It's about understanding the systems that control our money
And demanding more transparency, more fairness.
and building a financial system that benefits everyone, not just a select few.
That's what I want to see. A financial system that actually works for everyone.
And it starts with conversations like this one, getting people informed and engaged.
So to everyone listening, keep asking questions. Keep learning about this stuff. It's more important than you might think.
And don't be afraid to demand better. From the companies you support to the technologies you use.
We can build a better future, but it takes all of us.
Absolutely. It's a team effort.
And that's a wrap on this deep dive into the wild world of crypto AI and the future of, well, everything.
Until next time, keep those brains buzzing.
And we'll see you with the next deep dive.